I feel like this is an ex of yours, or perhaps somebody that you were involved in a situationship with, or maybe they had wanted to pursue you romantically, or maybe this was even like a former best friend. But we have a sneaky link, and I feel like at some point you would have told one or both of these individuals that it was a bad idea to continue to see each other. You may have even been cheated on by one of these people. But this sneaky link that both people seem to be pretty confident they could keep under wraps and nobody else would find out has been exposed. And I feel like you're over here minding your own business or you're unbothered. You've moved on to a new chapter and you're going to find out about this hidden lover situationship thing being basically gossiped about or like being the current community scandal that everybody's talking about. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member, as well as how to find my Etsy shop if you are interested in homemade soy candles. Let's dive in. I think we shall start with... We're going to start with the Soul Cat Tarot. What else do we have? Ace of Swords in the reverse, King of Cups, and the Five of Swords in the reverse. So this is a lie that for whatever reason you already knew about. Now take it how it resonates, but this is either a sneaky link that you knew about because it directly impacted you, or you might have been just like the most observant person in the room. But I feel like you at some point gave advice to one or both of these people, like, it's eventually going to come out and then it's not going to be very fun. I wouldn't recommend it, right? And someone didn't take you very seriously, or neither of them did. Hello, Jamike, how are we doing? So we have the Ace of Wands with Two of Pentacles in the reverse, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Nine of Cups. But you're over here doing your own thing. So this is a friend who didn't listen. Maybe you're not friends with them anymore. An ex who didn't listen. But you've moved on. You've started a new chapter. And now you're getting some update while you're out here doing your own thing that this ex or former friend of yours, they're going through it because they kept doing their sneakiness. Four of Wands in the reverse. This could be someone who's going through a divorce. But I do think that you have removed yourself from this situation, or you're no longer like impacted by this because you walked away. Hello, Lemonade. Welcome back. Hello, Glitter Bomb. How are you doing? We've got the Queen of Swords in the reverse and the Six of Wands. So you walked away when you realized that this person was content to just keep lying or didn't feel guilty about what they were involved in. Whether that was a close friend of yours or someone that was, actually dating you, you saw the writing on the wall. You're like, okay, well, I guess I can't trust you, or I guess you're content to cause that kind of grief or frustration for somebody, and I don't really want to be a part of it. King of Wands and the Empress in the reverse. You got to do you, but I don't think I can continue to support that. Have you ever lost a friend that way? I sure have. Like, okay, if that's what you're going to do, then I think I need to, walk the other way. This is the Blood Moon Tarot. Hello. Should I call you Sana? How are you doing? Hello, Carrie. What's up? What else do we have? King of Dreams, which is the King of Swords. 8 of Songs, or 8 of Cups in the reverse. And the 10 of Honey, or 10 of Pentacles. It's interesting because the 10 of Honey, or 10 of Pentacles, is literally in the same spot as the last 10 of Pentacles. So it's clarifying itself. I feel like you knew that this person was gallivanting around despite being in a long-term relationship, and advised them to basically come clean or be honest about it because it was likely going to end their relationship. But they didn't listen. They didn't take it seriously. I feel like more and more this is probably a friend. Maybe it's a family member. Someone that you gave advice to. Like, I really wouldn't do that, or that seems awful. I would try to, talk about that and anticipate that conversation instead of letting it get to be a bigger problem. But I don't think they listened to your advice. With the Magician in the reverse, this is somebody who was like, nah, I think I can do this a little bit longer. No one will find out about it. Because somebody has a set schedule, or somebody has to travel a lot, or, this is somebody who doesn't really observe things very well, so I'm sure they won't figure it out. Well, now we have this side piece situation being talked about. Hello, Intellectual Wanderer. How are you doing? Hello, Nish. I hope you're having a good day. If you would like me to read on that, you can add it to a super chat. I do personal questions after the general reading at about 35 minutes. Hello, Anjali. How are you doing? Hello, Karen. How are you? So we've got the 5 of Pentacles, or 5 of Honey in the reverse. And the 10 of Wands. They took it too far. I feel like we have whoever was in the committed relationship, and it could be both people. We have someone who came home early, or someone who walked in and realized that there was an affair. Not a very fun way to realize it, but I suppose none of them are really that great. But we have someone who came home early. An unexpected arrival. 9 of Songs, or the 9 of Cups. And the 4 of Skins, or 4 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like the married partner, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, walks in or comes home and overhears a conversation, or actually sees two people in an embrace. We'll put it that way. So this relationship is ended. The secret is out. Clarity, and okay, I guess that's what happened. I love this person, but they were not being faithful. So, end of a relationship, I guess. Maybe we've got the Deception card coming out then. This is the Energy Oracle. Side piece. You're funny, third eye. A garden tool. So we have man holding a coin. This would be the person who was in a relationship. It doesn't have to be a man. But this person already had an established living situation, or maybe they were married and they were pursuing something else on the side. And now that information is known by others, has been discovered. This is the Egyptian Tarot. Hello, Cavante. How are you doing? Hello, Matthew. It's 4 a.m. over there? Dang. Yes, I did do it, and it would have been towards the end. There were only 2 people who had questions after yours. So if I were you, I would approach it at, going to the end of the reading and then probably moving it back like 10 minutes or so. Maybe 15. All right, so what else do we have? Hey, Anjali, if you would like me to do your question, please attach it to a super chat, and keep in mind that I do that after the general reading. So that would still be in like another, I don't know, 20 minutes? A little bit longer? So we have the Devil in the reverse, the 7 of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles. Interesting. So, I mean, someone would say maybe it was the wrong time, but this is, right place, right time to catch someone. So, I mean, despite your best laid plans or plans to get laid, sometimes you can't anticipate everything. So this is someone who gets caught and now their relationship is ending. They could have chosen to be faithful. They could have chosen to take advice and stop. I do feel like you gave this person advice. Like, hey, I feel like that's going to be a problem. I feel like you should respect your relationship. But now, because they kept pursuing this side relationship, there are consequences. Hello, Idris. How are you doing? Hello, Gray. Hello, Abhishek. Hello, Ty. How are you doing? Hey, Anjali. I feel like it would be reasonable to ask you to be patient. Hello, lovely. How are you doing? Hello, imported. I'm glad to hear that, Idris. Ty, the last 3 were the 2 of Swords in the reverse, the King of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Knight of Cups in the reverse, 5 of Wands, and the 10 of Cups in the reverse. This is the long-term relationship in turmoil. 10 of Cups in the upright would be more of like domestic bliss, that happy family card, right? Instead, we've got somebody who is upset, emotionally frustrated, and arguing because the relationship that they were investing in seems to have been not a priority for their partner. Entirely possible, Cavante. So we've got Magician in the reverse. Manipulative energy. I feel like we have someone who's like, oh, you didn't see what you think you saw. That's not a big deal. No. We're just friends. Oh, I was just, a shoulder to cry on. But I don't know that that's going to work out for them. Sometimes it's too much. 6 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. So the trust between these 2 that had been around for a long time is basically evaporating, right? Ace of Cups. Hey, Anjali. I'm not like a horse that sits outside of a grocery store. Even those require quarters. Your turn is purchased with a super chat. Otherwise, please just keep in mind that the other readings on my channel, there's 11,000 of them, those are all free. So this is a long-term relationship, and yet somebody was making an offer outside of the relationship. You advised them not to, but now this relationship is ending because they didn't listen to your advice. So what else do we need to know about this? This is the Overthinker's Oracle. I know who you are to me. I know we are supposed to be together. But they feel like they've ruined their relationship because they wanted to have a little bit of fun. I'm afraid to commit. I love you so much, though I never expressed it. And there's a new divine connection coming soon. So you gave this person some really great advice. They didn't listen. And I feel like you kind of knew that there was a difference of opinion. I feel like this is a friend. And so this is platonic love, right? They appreciated your influence even though they didn't listen to your advice. And you're like long gone. You're like, okay, whatever. I got other things I need to tend to. You encouraged them to confess long ago, but now they're finally doing it. Even though I don't know that it'll save their relationship because that information's already been discovered. Now that their relationship is ending, they're getting a little bit possessive of you or wanting to have that friendship back. In some cases, they want to date you. Take it how it resonates. But they feel like they've been tricked out of their blessings, even though you gave them advice that they needed to change this behavior. I feel like we have some issues here in terms of taking responsibility. And we have the false twin flame card. So this could be someone who gets a little bit too caught up in connections, justifying their behavior. They had this lustful energy, and I feel like they justified stepping outside of their relationship because of that. Like, oh, it's my twin flame. You said, no, I don't think I would do that if I were you. This person has had dark attachments. I think that's probably why you decided to distance yourself. You knew that they were going to probably still struggle to make the right decision. They might have asked for advice over and over again, but still kept making the wrong choice. Yeah, double energy aligns with that dark attachment card. So they miss being close to you and the friendship that you offered. And they know that they broke too many promises. But you started to realize if they could treat their significant other this way, that they might not necessarily do right by you either. So I feel like this is basically confirmation that moving away from this person was probably the right thing to do. Hello, have I said hello to Grant? And hello, Christina. How are you doing? Thank you. Did I say hello to slamming? I don't think so. Hello, Felon. I'm sorry you feel that way. Have I said hello to Carrie? All right. We're going to go with the Pause Tarot. Just so you can see it, we also have a really cool globe over here. And it has old countries, or countries that they're not named the same way anymore. I think it's from the mid-60s. All right, this is the Pause Tarot. I'm glad, Carrie. I always get nervous I forget people. All right, what else do we have, please? Ten of Wands. Page of Wands in reverse. This person doesn't take advice from anybody. It's not just you. Don't take it personally. I don't think you did. But you did, I think, just realize, like, I'm trying to help you out or make sure that you don't have difficulties. But if you are determined to make that kind of decision, then I guess to each their own, right? But I do think that you distance yourself from this person because you do have a different approach, a pretty significantly different approach. Nine of Cups in the reverse, Justice in the reverse, Wheel of Fortune. You have changed. This person was resisting change. So even if you were of the same like age group, this person might come across as a little bit less mature than you, right? Hello, Dave. How are you doing? We just need Davy Jones now. Hello, Bree. How are you doing today? We have the King of Cups and the Six of Cups. You care about this person. You want them to be happy. But I think you also are pretty validated at this point that distancing yourself from this person means that you don't have to deal with the constant chaos and toxic energy because they seem to refuse to do things to avoid the fallout or the negative outcomes. Maybe they're getting kicked out, maybe they need a place to stay, maybe they need to borrow some money, maybe they never take their car in to get fixed when they need to. You realize that they depended a lot on other people, but were also not necessarily reliable when it came to doing right by those friends or those supportive people in their life. Hello, Shayla. Welcome back. What else do we have? Queen of Swords in the reverse. There's a hair. Sorry, guys. It's driving me crazy. Queen of Swords in the reverse is followed by Death in the reverse. They might have lied to you. I feel like they lied to you. And then you were like, what are we doing here? I thought you could at least be honest to me. So I feel like that's why this ended. Like I thought I could trust you, but now I've seen that you were cheating on your person and you also lied to me. So what are we really doing here? Why would I invest in that friendship if I can't trust you? That just seems silly. And I agree with you. We want to be there for individuals, but if they're just willfully staying stagnant and being honest and out here breaking hearts, you got to ask yourself what kind of energy you're allowing in your life with somebody who doesn't seem to want to work on those things. So you realize this was somebody who was betraying multiple people and didn't seem to really be too concerned with it. Hello, Edmund. How are you doing? Hello, Mary. I hope you're having a good one. Let's see, where did I put that? There you are. All right, let's get a few from the Fairy Godmother Oracle. What else do we have? Ooh! Well, I hope it's safe travels for you, Urban Walker, and make sure you get enough sleep. But thank you for the kind words. All right, what else do we have? Mother Nature and self-worth. So this Mother Nature is, I think, where you've been spending your time. Maybe you got caught up in a lot of difficulty or toxicity when you were friends with this person. Maybe some of you dated them. But you have been maybe spending more time on your own, a little bit more of a hermit energy, and recognizing the self-worth that you have. That's going to be a big difference between you and this person who is breaking promises, right? They could stand to learn a little bit from you, but even though they would listen to your advice, they didn't actually follow your advice. They might end up listening to you a little bit more closely now, I would hope. But we do have someone who's life is kind of being upended by the fact that they didn't. And they look at you as somebody who provides them with encouragement. So I do feel like this is basically saying you got to use your discernment. Is it worth it to reconnect with this person if they're coming, basically running to you after they have kind of ruined their relationship, right? Because they're going to come running to you asking for advice or maybe asking for a place to stay. And for some of you, the advice is I don't know that that's the best person to let back into your life. And for others of you, they're genuine, then it might make sense. This is a gamer's way. The Bard. The Bard is not a taker. They prefer to give. They are able to tap into some unique kind of magic that lifts the spirits of those around them. Having a Bard in your party is good for morale. Requires a vibe stat of 69 or higher. So this is why they come running to you after things go poorly. Because they want you to lift their spirits, and you're the kind of person who does that. Stealth mission. Someone here is operating in the shadows. We can't always assume that someone is being sneaky for nefarious reasons. They might be planning a surprise party or an ambush. Stay frosty. They're not going to tell you everything that happens because they don't want to take responsibility for everything going exactly the way that you warned them they might go. Crafting. To take an idea and make it reality, there is a special magic in bringing life to our creations. Pure passion only benefits when we act on it, and you are taking the initiative to get this off the ground. They see you working on something or doing really well with something, and they are hoping that that energy is infectious. They want that for themselves. For some of you, you're going to realize that they're still lying and therefore you still don't have room for them in your life. And for others of you, you're going to see that they are willing to be a little bit more vulnerable than they were in the past and allow them back in. Hello, Carla. How are you doing? Are we talking about cake? I'm jealous. Let's see. We've got save point. The wizard sits and reflects on a time when save points were few and far between. These are the things to be learned from the difficulties of times past, and it is wise to stop and consider what knowledge to bring forward. This is absolutely about trying to figure out the actual intentions of this former friend. Have they learned anything, or are they still being willfully ignorant? Because if they're still like, la, 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 no, it's everybody else's fault, then, let them figure it out on their own. But if they're actually showing some progress, then maybe it is a good thing for you to re-enter their life and help them, nudge them along a little bit, right? This is the Path of Shadows. What else do we have? The Cake Monster. What else do we have? Banshee. All I could hear was a warning scream. Ignoring the signs won't make me free. Because your friend has a tendency to ignore advice and ignore the warning signs. You remind them, hey, make sure you get your application in on time, or hey, make sure you put your garbage out at the curb. They aren't always going to listen. Avoidance. In the dance of shadows, I conceal and evade. Fear's veil keeps me distant in the dark's cool shade. So if they're still trying to save face, if they don't want to tell you what's really going on, then I guess the advice here is saying let them find their own way. Cauldron. Intention, alchemy, and manifestation. Once you figure out what their intentions are and whether or not they are willing to be held accountable to their own actions, not like you have to be like Lady Justice or anything, but if they're avoiding accountability, then they're not exactly going to be a good friend to you either. Hello, ETAC. How are you doing? Hello, Mac. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Wobbly. Thank you. It is, isn't it? All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.